Good afternoon. I'm Mike Gonzalez in the 920 News Center. We are following breaking news right now into the KXLY4 HD newsroom. A jury has just reached a verdict in the trial of Spokane police officer Karl Thompson.
Yeah, the jury had just reached that decision about 20 minutes ago, and here it is. Officer Karl Thompson found guilty on both counts. That's of excessive force against Otto Zehm in that 2006 zip trip incident attack there, and also guilty for lying to investigators about the incident.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, the jury was asked to decide if he was guilty of using excessive force and of lying. They could have reached different decisions on both charges. The incident captured on surveillance cameras at a north side zip trip. Prosecutors had said that Thompson overreacted when responding to a burglary call and then beat Zehm in the head and neck with his baton. The defense said that Thompson feared for his safety when Zehm would not respond to his commands.
And Thompson faces up to 10 years in prison for depriving Zehm of his civil rights. Also, a $250,000 fine. Thompson could also get 20 years in prison for being convicted of lying to investigators. And it's hard to believe that this incident happened March 18th, 2006. We're going to take a live shot of the federal courthouse here in Spokane. We've got Jeff Humphrey, who is going to be live. He's been tweeting all morning long for us and all afternoon long. Ian Cole is in the courtroom in Yakima, who just delivered that guilty count on both charges. If you're not familiar with this case, Otto Zehm, 36-year-old, mentally ill, unemployed janitor. He was beaten and tased, hogtied inside that Zip Trip convenience store back in 2006 by 7 Spokane police officers. He was wrongly identified as a suspect in a possible theft.
Now, our Ian Cole has been in Yakima covering this case for us, and he was there as that verdict was read. Again, if you're just joining us, we have a verdict in the Karl Thompson excessive force trial. Thompson found guilty on both counts, 1, excessive force, and 2, of lying to investigators. We're also hearing from our Ian Cole. As we mentioned, he is in the Yakima trial in the courtroom right now. He is telling us that Thompson showed absolutely no reaction when the verdict was read by the judge. Also, apparently, a woman with him, though, was said to have been crying when that verdict was read.
Yeah, the interesting thing, you know, one of the big things about this case was that video that was recently released, you know, that showed Officer Karl Thompson being interviewed just 4 days after that incident happened. And I had to log that tape and actually look at the entire interview. And when you looked at that, Nadine, it really did not match up with the video. And I mean, at one point, Officer Thompson even said that Zehm got into a boxing stance and looked very confrontational. So,
and I think the jury had a problem with that too,
yeah,
Mike, because the case went to the jurors on Monday, and then the next day, Tuesday, just yesterday, they asked to look again at the surveillance video that you're talking about, and also Thompson's statements in that interview with investigators.
So that was a huge piece of evidence, and we've been talking about it all morning. Karl Thompson, he has been convicted guilty of excessive force and also lying to investigators. So we'll see what kind of consequences he faces.
He could receive up to 20 years in jail, a $250,000 fine. We'll find out a little bit later on when the sentencing will happen. And we'll have some live shots, of course, from Ian Cole out of Yakima, who has been covering this case for us, where the trial has been going on, and also from Jeff Humphrey, who is at the Federal Building in downtown Spokane. So you can look for the very latest on our website, KXLY.com.
All right, and we'll probably do another cut in here shortly, but if we don't, we'll see you again at 5 o'clock. Again, Officer Karl Thompson guilty on both counts. We'll have much more on KXLY4 HD News at 5. This has been a KXLY4 Breaking News Alert.